What's up, guys? Welcome to the live class, live stream. Let me know where you are watching from in the chat. I got Carly with me. She's monitoring the chat, so any of your questions, just type Q, put in your question, and I will answer it. Basically, today we're just going to hang out. I'm going to show you guys a convex layered haircut. Convex layer is basically just going with the head shape, but we're also going to do that balanced, and what that means is our horizontal line is going to stay parallel with our shoulders, with the wall, and we're going to create this really fun kind of, I don't want to call it a shag because I don't even know what a shag is anymore. Everybody's renamed it, redone it, including me a million different times, but it's going to be a fun medium length layered haircut. So something very versatile, something very salon friendly. If you're not a stylist and you're watching this, something that maybe you'd want to transition into because it's something different for the fall, but not too different. So, you know, some of you guys are a little more nervous about a change. This could be a good thing for you. So hopefully you're excited. Again, post your questions in the chat. All right. So to really break down sectioning, show you guys how this is going to work. We've got straight down the center right here, and then we split everything front and back from the high point of the head, which you'll see right here, high point of the head here, all the way down to behind the ear. That is my basic sectioning that I do on almost every single haircut. Those of you guys that have been following me for a while, you know this. That sectioning to me is the most standard sectioning, and it really just sets you up for success because you're working with the different densities. And I've talked about this multiple times in the past, but this density here, when we look at from the front to the middle of the head here, that's the same amount of hair. So obviously the hairline comes across just like this on pretty much everyone. Maybe it dips a little bit in certain areas, but for the most part, you're working with the same exact amount of hair until you get to this point here, and then it dives down, and then you work with a lot more density in the back. So the theory of this is, why would you cut the front and treat it the same as the back when they're clearly not the same? You're clearly working with a heavier density back here. So section it away, think about your process, cut the front different than the back, and then bring it all together at the end, and you will have a more successful haircut. When I was in beauty school, I was taught to go from the top of the ear up, so that always leaves this little bit that's bringing into the back, and I'm now cutting it as part of the back, but that's why I get a hole, because now my haircut starts to mimic that hairline. So think about those things as you go through and you're doing your haircuts. Then when you look at the back of the head here, you can see that all of this, all the way around to the opposite side, is also all the same density. So that's how we're going to work it. We're going to work convex layers in the back of the head, and then in the very front of the head, I'm going to do a little bit more creative, not disconnect, but a little more concave feel to the layers when you look at it from a vertical line standpoint, because I want to push a little extra length towards the sides to keep my length. And also I want a lot of movement around the face, so that's why I'm going to do that. So balanced convex layers in the back, concave, balanced, let's say they're going to be, concave balanced layers in the front, and I'll explain all of that as I go. Any questions, again, type Q in the chat. I'm here for you guys. That's what we're doing this for. Also filming this for a video, and of course, that's what I forgot, is to actually film this for the video. So let me grab some hard drives here, because we're going to need those. Let's see what else we got. It's my bag of fun here. Where's that lighter? if I don't record this, okay, this is the one I want, this is the one I want, then you guys aren't going to get it later, and that would be terrible. Anything going on in the chat, Carly?
Not much.
Oh, good.
Just everyone's saying hello.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Somebody did ask if it will be saved for later viewing.
Oh, well, lucky you, I remembered before I actually started cutting. That's usually the worst part is I start going to town on the haircut and then realize that, oh, wait. Don't you guys worry, I was just making sure I could delete something. This is really confusing you guys, I'm sure. All right, back to that. Don't go anywhere. I know now you want to run away because I'm doing something else. Don't do it. Just don't go anywhere. All right. We're now recording. See, that took no time. Another thing I want to show you guys, and this is something that I've been working through here. Look at this, got a little iPad. Oh, did it really do that again? Come on now. I know what to do. Here. I want to show you guys this app, especially you pros out there. Arrangement, mirror. This Hair Tech app, which I have no affiliation with, it does kind of crash sometimes, but I've been using it to kind of map out some of my haircuts. So a couple of things I want to show you. So we're going to be working in the back, so I'm going to show you guys the back real quick. The way that we sectioned everything out, so you've got that kind of high point of the head, so I'll go with this little dotted line here. I'm going to work, so this is the apex, right? So right here, oops, wrong way. That's also backwards. Whoever made this app, it makes sense the way you did it, but the human brain, the way that works, I feel like it definitely is a little off. So high point of the head, right here. And then we're going to work our partings from the high point all the way down and back. And the way that we're going to make this balanced is all of my sections are going to come straight down just like this, right? So here we go, here we go, here we go. So I'm going to work across. Now that is also going to be a traveling guide, right? So we have to travel as we go. So when we look at, is this going to be right? Yes. Actually, no. Oh, wrong line. This is hard to do standing up. Okay. So here, so this is going to go over, and we're going to travel and bring each section over to the next. So as we work through it, we're going to be bringing the guide over, and if you travel the guide to the newest section, then that continues the travel. If you start bringing the new section back to the guide, then you start to build length on the haircut. So when we go back to, let's go the overhead look, and I'll draw a line here. This is what's going to make this balance, and I'm doing this really fast. This will not be the final result, but we're going to bring everything back to this point here and cut it at a balanced line. So basically, when I look at the head shape from overhead here, there we go. The line that I'm going to be creating is right here. So everything's going to come back to this point, and then I'm going to bring the guide to the next section and bring it straight back, bring the guide to the next section, bring it straight back, and then all the way to the corner, and then the corners come straight back. So that's how we're going to cut that. And maybe we'll break that down a little bit more. Let me know in the chat, do you like that example? Do you like the iPad thing? It will get better, I promise. It's my first time. But let me know if that's something that you feel like brings a little bit extra value to the classes. All right. Still nothing, Carly? All right.
Denise had a great explanation.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Denise. All right, so let's get started. We're going to work straight down the center, just like this. And I really want to be clean with this, guys, because I want a really nice, precise look for these layers. So I want to go all the way down to the nape. Okay, so we've got our section here. And I'm going to be working top to bottom as well. So just like this. I'm going to go straight up in the air. And I want these layers to be kind of short because I really do want to bring quite a bit of texture into it. And I'm just going to follow the head shape around. Now, I'll tilt her head a little bit. Tilting of the head is kind of a, I know, I have a dark jacket on. Tell me about it in the comments. Just watch my hand. But I will try very hard to move out of the way. So here, I tilt the head to get my body more comfortable. Like that. The last little bit. This is going to be a little more of a collapsed layer because the head in the occipital bone area starts to curve in. And I'm not going to follow that totally in because I don't mind it to have a little collapsed area, and I'm also going to work that nape. So this is more, kind of turns into a non-convex layer in a way. So there you go. So nice and short pieces, and then it works into a little bit longer. So now I'm going to move to the left. Just like this. Straight down, all the way to the nape. Comb this hair off to the side. And then I'm going to push my guide up and over, right? This floor, I have all these cords I'm not even using, and all I can see is all of them. And nothing. Sorry for my mess, guys. All right, right here. Up in the air, guide over top of the new section. And then working down the head shape. Cool. Continuing through. I want to speed this up a little bit for you guys because I know now you get it. So just working on the nape. Grab a little bit of my old section. Scoop it up in my hand. Now make sure you don't comb the old. Oh, look at that, getting in the way. But always, last comb is pushing it away. Everybody's still good?
We also asked for any finger angle tips.
Finger angle
How
tips?
to hold your fingers on the scissors
So
with the section.
probably one of the number one things, that angle is not very good. I'm gonna go here. Probably one of the number one things with finger angle is if you're talking about this hand that's holding the hair, it's definitely just stay with the head shape, right? And then as you kind of twist down, if you needed to adjust body position, you could. I'm feeling pretty comfortable in this, so I'm not really that worried about that now. But as you work down, just make sure you tilt the head because the head can go pretty far down on your client and then you don't have any issues. You just are kind of aware of what you're doing, right? If you're talking about finger angle, which isn't normally what you would say, but with your scissor, there's a couple things that I'm doing because I don't want to have my elbow up too high. So what I like to do is just take my thumb and instead of having it in the regular way of the scissor, I put it back through the back side of the scissor and I cut this way. And this allows me to kind of cut along my finger without keeping my elbow up in the air. So, so that's kind of the tip on that, I guess. I don't really have much more on that. So I'm going to go one more section before I get to the corner here. Grab a little bit of the old. So here, my finger's regular in the scissor, but then as soon as I get to the next section, right here, my elbow would have to go up way higher. So I just come in the back side of the scissor and cut just like that. There you go. And then the last section, when you get to the corner, just like I showed you guys on the iPad, this is going to come straight up. So I'm going to comb to make sure that I'm not pushing into that corner. I'm going to comb everything straight up to me. Looks like everything's pretty much lining up anyways. Just like that. And then the last bit, when you look down here, you just got a little bit to cut the bottom. Here. Just like that. And there we go. So look at the layers. Like, I just love the way that it kind of forms into her head, but then you could see where that concave effect kind of comes in, keeps a little bit of length on the bottom, but for the most part, we just got that convex through the back. Just really layers it up nice. So now we're going to do the same thing on the right side. My body position is not going to change. I'm going to stick to the same side. Everything's going to, the only difference here is that I was pushing the guide to the new section because the new section was moving this way. Now I'm going to be pulling the guide to the new section because we're moving the opposite direction. Did that answer their question about the finger angle? Okay. Or did they just quit and leave? So like, that's not what I was saying at all. This guy doesn't know anything. All right. Keeping the sections clean. I know some of us don't want to. We want to just get it done. I get it. The same way.
He said yes, it did.
Oh, good. Sweet. But you got to keep it clean. All right.
Rachel asked, who would this style be best for?
So, kind of mentioned that at the beginning, who would this style be best for? But I think, personally, it's for somebody that wants something new, has medium length hair, but doesn't want a ton of change. I think that this would be a good haircut. Adds a lot of layering, but keeps a good amount of length in there. So, actually, take my jacket off because I feel like if you can see my arms, maybe I'm hiding in the. It might help with the angles, but so I think that this is for somebody that is looking for a change, that client, but they don't want a huge change. This is definitely something super fun. You can customize it so you don't change too much. You know, like you could even go a little bit longer. I wouldn't recommend it though, because I think that having this kind of more shag effect to it is really what makes this haircut stand out. Okay.
The difference between convex and concave layers?
The difference? That's a good question. What is the difference between convex and concave layers? Here we go. Oh, it did it again. Why does it do that?
Because the iPad shuts off.
I guess. You know what I found about this iPad? I never had an iPad before until recently. Display and brightness, that's how I get to this, just so we remember. It forgets what I don't want it to do. Like, for instance, this front screen, all this, like this weird picture of myself, I don't want it to be there. And I've removed it, all of these things, these little gadgets, many times, and after like 3 days, they show up again. I don't know what it is. So it forgets what I like, and I don't like that about it. Okay, what is the difference between concave and convex? So this is convex. This is where this app is super cool. Convex, okay. So everything is going with the round of the head. Like that. Concave, so then that makes the layers fall in uniform with the head, right? So everything kind of falls and works its way around. Now, the concave is the complete opposite. So let me just... Concave goes like this. Whoops. Like this. And gets cut like this. So what that does when you bring the hair up to this point, oops, and cut it in that line, that creates kind of it's not disconnected. It creates length, because you're cutting shorter to longer throughout it, and collapses the shape. So convex is going to be layering still, so it's not graduation, it's not building up a weight line, but what it's doing is following the head shape and just kind of stacking itself through the head shape, showcasing the head shape. Concave, what that does is when you cut that scoop out, you're removing extra weight, pushing extra length down, so you get a collapsed look. You're still going to initially get that layered look, but then as the hair starts to get further and further away from the head, which would be kind of this point right here, you're further away from the head, that's when the length and extra weight starts to happen because your angle is getting pushed away, right? So anytime you start to get further away from the head or start pulling hair further away from where it lives, you get weight and length. So concave kind of gives you that. It's a way to cut shorter layers, start to stack them up, and then collapse it and keep extra length and push it towards the bottom. Just gives it a really cool effect. So when you look at how the hair is going to fall, let's see if I can draw this. This is probably freehand, and I'm scared to do it, but this, so concave is going to kind of fall like this. Sometimes I don't want it to zoom in like that. And then kick out and have extra length in this area, but be shorter here at the top. And then convex is going to fall more like you're seeing now, like this, with just a little bit of length towards the bottom. That line is awesome. That line is great. Okay. So, again, do you like the iPad? Do you enjoy the iPad descriptions? I kind of like them. I feel like they help take away, when you take away all the little strands of hair, it simplifies it a little bit. So, down here, great question, though. All right, my initial combing is going to be up and just kind of scooping everything from the root up. And then my last combs are going to be pulling that guide to where I want it to guide. So I don't need to do that yet. So here, elbows in the air, look at that, I don't want that. So here, comb the guide to the new section. That. And then my feet, I'm going to spread my feet out a little bit more just to help my body position. This isn't the greatest body position of all time to get the bottom here, but it is going to help me stay consistent still. There we go. This is the last section pre getting to the corner. Oh. There we go. Comb this up and over. There we go. And then the last bit is the corner. So I'm going to bring that straight back.
We like the head sheets.
Sweet. All right. So there is our convex layers. Here we go. Let me see. So take a look when you look at the profile, how the layering kind of comes around, but there's nothing that starts to like kind of bulk up at the bottom because we're following the head shape and removing weight that whole time. If this was concave, all this hair would have been brought up all the way up to here to be cut. So it would have scooped out this top section or top part of the layering, but then it would have built a ton of density on the bottom. And actually, I had a client yesterday that I kind of based this haircut off of. I did concave layering on her yesterday, and when I got done, I was blow drying it. Because she had finer hair, that's why I chose to do that. But when I started to blow dry it and got it finished, it just seemed too heavy on the bottom, and it didn't look like it had the right shape. So that's why I chose to try it to show you guys today, kind of try out just doing the convex with this haircut, and I think it would have been a better result. I had to do a lot of extra effort in the dry cut because I didn't cut it convex yesterday. So that's the changes we make. But that's the fun thing about hair cutting and how you can kind of adjust and reapply things as you go. All right, so now we're going to move into the top. And the top's pretty simple when we break it down. The way that I'm going to work through the top is horizontal sections through the top here. And we're going to pull that all to the center, and we're going to use this little piece as a guide. Yes, I have done haircuts like this recently, but I didn't do a convex back, so I think that's going to be one of the biggest differences. I also really wanted kind of a nice curtain fringe in this, so that's why we're going to over direct everything to that center point. I'm going to go right over top of the nose though and try to leave a little extra heaviness right in that fringe area. I think it'll look cool. So we'll take down our right side. Comb this out. And we're going to take like that. We're going to take a vertical section. And this will be a stationary guide, so this will actually go quite a bit faster. So we're going to go straight in front of the nose. Just like that. That's where I'm going to cut it. Show you from this angle here. Just like this. Just make sure you're over directing top of the nose. That. I'll take another section. And this part, you got to really put on your trusting, like, I don't know, attitude. I don't know. You got to really trust yourself because you're going to feel like you're cutting a lot. But if you don't cut a lot, you're going to have way too heavy, way too much going on in the front. It's not going to look right. So trust yourself. The head shape is moving away at this point. So because it's moving away, if you leave it too long, it'll get way too long. And sometimes, depending on the length of the hair, I disconnect that bottom portion here. But for this particular technique, I don't need to. You can see pretty much falls and connects with the rest of the haircut already. So now, same thing on this side. Let it down. My guide's going to come from the center. Same stationary guide. But now I'm combing this new section right out in front, just like that. There we go. Another one. How's everybody doing out there? Feeling good? Not sure if you guys know, but I'm launching an online academy next week. Advanced Academy, and it's not just for haircutting. It's actually for haircutting, and we also do classes. So you can certify in the haircutting system, which is cool because it has 8 different haircuts, and then you get quizzes at the end of the haircuts. So it's a good training tool for you or your staff, and then when you complete the whole thing, you get a certificate automatically sent to you. And then we're also going to work on content creation as well, because it's one thing to do great haircuts, but you got to capture them and know how to edit them and market yourself in this new world. And I've been doing it for a long time, so I thought it would be kind of cool to meet with you guys on a weekly basis and teach you how to do all that stuff. Maybe it's even like your social media manager you want to sign up for it or whatever, but it's $50 a month or $500 a year. If you do the $500 a year, you get a scissor. So again, it'll be haircutting classes, but also we will do video editing, different tricks, different apps that I like to use, all that stuff. We'll share all the secrets to everything I'm doing. So look at that haircut. What do you guys think? Questions?
No questions, but Patty said, "Hi Matt, been missing you, so glad to be here. The cut is looking great. Really like the shape."
Awesome, Patty. Patty signed up for the academy. I saw her name. All right. I think I'm going to leave this sort of wavy. I don't know. Kind of liking it wavy. Also, all those classes I was talking about, those are over Zoom, so you'll be able to ask me questions as we go. It won't be just a live chat. You can actually talk to me. I really want it to be a more intimate kind of setting than me just being up here teaching the whole time. Like, I want to see your social media, I want to help you grow with it, actually bring something to it, rather than just teaching haircuts and hoping you guys are doing good with it. I want to really see what's going on. All right. Add a little bit of product here. Brush the product through. Yeah, this is cool. It's a cool cut. Then I'll add a diffuser. Got one?
How do you keep the crown from getting too big after blow drying?
That's a great question. Let me know when you find out. No, I mean, I think if you cut the layers like with intention, like if you kind of know what shape you're creating, it won't get too big in the crown. So like understand the density of the hair and what texture, what formation of the hair that you're working with. And then once you kind of know that, then base your layering on that. Then when you blow dry, if you know that their hair is thick or gets really bulky, or you feel like it's going to do that, then maybe don't round brush it. Maybe do a smooth kind of vent brush polish just in the crown and then round brush the sides. Like just make some adjustments in that, as opposed to, we have to stop, I think this is the thing, we have to stop treating every area of the head as the same thing. Like we go in and we blow dry hair with a round brush the same way, off the scalp, on base, off base, whatever it is, we're doing it exactly the same all the way throughout. When if we just adjusted and used a different tool for the crown, because the crown is different and reacts different than the rest of the head, then you're going to have more success. So I think one thing for me is I've never treated the head, well, not never, but in the last 6 or 7 years of my career so far, I don't treat the head the same anymore. I think about it all differently, and I separate it before I go in and do whatever technique I'm doing. So, like, I'm not even diffusing and lifting the crown at all because I know the crown's gonna lift. So I'm going through, I did the sides, the back, everything, and I kind of work around the crown. Don't even go too much into it. I'm also trying to put quite a bit of weight right here in the fringe, and I'm not scrunching the fringe too much because I don't want like this real like harsh curl to happen in the front either. So just letting the diffuser do the work. Low airflow, high heat, You could even do low heat if you want to keep your hair healthy longer. This is the last haircut of her existence, so I mean, maybe there'll be one more, but I'm not as worried about the health of her hair. Color's fun, Carly. Good job. It's fun. Oh, yeah.
Jacqueline said she heard you were looking for live models on the 4th and the 5th.
Yes.
She lives nearby, about a 25-minute drive. She asked if we made a decision as to who you select.
So I have picked a few people, but as long as they commented on the thing, I've been taking a look. So I was kind of looking for specific hair types, so and hair lengths and what people are willing to do. So you know what I should have done? I should have had people post in the comments like what haircut they want. You know what I mean? Like what they're hoping for. It's fun. It's not for everyone. I love the shape of like the fringe when you start to look at like here, yeah. Like how it comes and fades off the face. I have the new, where is that thing? Oh, here it is. This is the new hybrid size. So now we have a 5.65 inch, a little bit shorter. That was kind of a request from me. Some people like a longer scissor. I like shorter scissors, so I asked them, we had to like completely redesign, not redesign it, but like it wasn't as easy as just making it shorter. Let's put it that way. Because this scissor has a very specific design. When we came out with it, it has a slide cutting side, and then the last 1/4 inch is precision cutting. And basically the way that a dry cutting scissor works, just so you guys know, a little education here. A dry cutting scissor has a sharp blade on one side, it's fully sharp, and then the other side is sort of dull. So when it comes together, it glides a little bit more through the hair as opposed to just grabbing the hair and cutting it. So that's why a lot of people are like, can you do wet cutting with a dry cutting scissor as well? It's a little bit harder. Now, with that being said, like yesterday, my client, when I got done at the end, I did all of her dry cutting with this scissor. And when we designed this, this portion is fully sharp from the tip up. So you get a full cut when you close the scissor on this much of the blade, but then the rest of it, if you want to put it in the hair and slide through it, you can do that as well. So if you're point cutting or whatever, you still get a nice crisp cut, but it also does slide cutting. So, for instance, if I come in here and I've got the hair in this part of the blade, it's just going to glide through. It's going to feel very soft. Now, if I want to come in and do a little point cutting and remove some stuff around the hairline or around the fringe, that tip fully cuts it off, no problem, doesn't push the hair. So you have the ability to kind of do both. That's what makes this scissor so unique and cool. And I don't know anybody else that has this type of scissor. So let me see, I just want to cut around the fringe a little bit because that's a little long for me. So I'll grab my wide tooth comb here.
Love the cut, love the shears.
Nice. Love the cut, love the shears, love that. I'll do a little, just kind of hold the hair in my hands, fine tuning, a little more of a line. We have an automatic discount on our website, Shop FSE. Can you type that in the chat, Carly? shopfse.com. You get 30% off this scissor, normally $300, 30% off. So what is that? $90 off. If you just, all you have to do is go to checkout and it automatically takes it off for you. So you don't even have to worry about putting in a code or anything. Just go ahead and do it. You can also sign up for the Academy on there as well. So if any of you guys are interested, ready to actually put in the time with me, you know, you gotta, the Academy, it's not a lazy thing. I'm actually gonna hold you accountable for stuff. All right, what do we think? It's fun, right? Expand it out a little bit. And there you go. People feel good?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, thank you guys very much. Be on the lookout for the finalized video. I will be posting that on YouTube soon. So hope you guys enjoyed the class. If you want to do more classes with me, just go to shopfse.com and you can sign up for all the upcoming events that I have going on. Just click on the Academy link and go down to upcoming events. You can see all the class lineups for every week coming up. They're on Mondays mostly. The one coming up is on Tuesday because of Labor Day, but we are doing them every week. And then also you can check out all the scissors and all that. Got tons of deals going on, and appreciate your guys' support. I will see you guys next time. All right. Thank you.